Have you ever been in a situation where your employer terminates your appointment and probably by the 15th of the month, like today is the 15th, I'm making this video, and he now says that he's going to pay you for the days that you have worked and not your full payment? Is that your situation? Yes, you have a right. That is not the right thing to do. So, the correct position of the law is that when your employment is terminated as a monthly salary earner or employee, as the case may be, even if your employment was terminated on the second or third of the new month, you are entitled to your full payment for that month. Are you surprised? So that's the reason why I'm here to guide you, to give you some insights on issues of Nigerian and international laws. So subscribe to this channel to get more of this. So this episode, I will be clarifying some common conceptions about citizens' rights and their notions about Nigerian law and other aspects like landlord and tenants, police, as the case may be. So let's start this way. This one concerns financial institutions and their customers, that is banks. Yes, I've seen situations where people's accounts are freezed. Yes, that is not an issue. If there's any suspicion, they have the right to freeze that account. But how did they do it? What procedure was followed in freezing your account? In fact, recently, there was a Supreme Court or higher court judgment that was given last year, 2025, that magistrate courts in Nigeria do not, must not, does not have the jurisdiction or the power to freeze people's bank accounts. So if your account has been frozen by a magistrate court, they don't have the right to do that. It is only the high court that has the jurisdiction to do that. And the police too, or police as the case may be, don't have the right to freeze any banker's account except with the order of a court. Yeah, so that is one thing you need to understand. And secondly, we hear about quit notice. That is a common jargon or language people used to say in Nigeria, quit notice. There is nothing like quit notice. It is called notice to quit. Notice to quit. Did you hear me? Notice to quit. So that relates to landlord and tenants or tenancy matters. So we can say 6 months quit notice. No, it is 6 months notice to quit. I'm talking about notice to quit. If you are a yearly tenant, that is, you renew your rent at the end of a year cycle, you are entitled to 6 months notice to quit. Yes, if the landlord doesn't want you to stay or he wants to renovate the house, you're entitled to 6 months. And that 6 months is before the expiration of your rent, not after. Not after. Do you understand? It is before the expiration. So let's assume that your rent will expire by December 31st, 2025. 6. So this month of June, if the landlord doesn't want you to remain in that premises, it is in this month that the landlord should prepare a notice to quit, informing you 6 months ahead of time to leave that premises. It is not after the expiration, it is before. So this information is both for the landlord and the tenants. It is 6 months before the expiration of your tenancy. Did you get that? Now, in some cases or in some instances where maybe the tenant did not leave by that 6 months, something happened, and now he now approaches the landlord, please, I need maybe 1 more month or 2 months. Let me just tidy up. That is 1 month extra or 2 months extra. Now, the notion which I have interacted with some landlords, the notion they have is that the tenants will not pay for those 2 months. That is wrong. Some landlords don't even know because that is the general notion, what people used to believe or assume that if you have been given 2 months extra, they are not going to pay. It is wrong. So if you are requesting for additional 1 month or 2 months after the expiration of your rent, you are going to pay. You are going to pay what is called men's profit. You are going to pay for those 2 months. You are already in arrears of rent, so you will pay. So this is a bonus to the landlord or the landlords out there. So those 2 months is not free. So you have to have it at the back of your mind. And when you want to, this one now is for the landlords. Sometime a few weeks ago, I went to somewhere to get something. I saw landlords throwing tenants' properties out from a shop. Yes, of course, the tenant was owing for some months. So even if that tenant was owing, yes, even if he was owing maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, as the case may be, the landlord does not have the right to throw things out. So if that tenant wants to take him up, he can he can do a case against it and win that matter. Yes, even if he will still leave the property, but he has a claim, has a right. So landlords out there, there is a legal procedure, laid down process, yes, to be followed before you evict or eject your tenant, as the case may be. So consult your lawyer. Now, that is on that aspect. So today I'm just giving us tips. Yes, in other subsequent physical video like this, I will be elaborating this point. So this is just a general insight and notions about some misconceptions of laws in Nigeria. Now let's go to the police or the police, as the case may be. Now, in matters relating to contract, breach of contract, you bought a goods from somebody and the person did not pay you money, somebody is owing you. The police does not have the right to arrest you for that. Yes, that is purely civil matter. So if there is no criminal, they can't arrest you and detain you. No. So if they have been doing that to you or any person it is wrong. You can enforce your fundamental right for infringing on your rights. Police does not have the right on breach of contract, debt recovery. It is not their jurisdiction, and they know. It's just that many people are not aware and then they are afraid. So you can simply reject or refuse the arrest because they don't have the right to do that. They don't also have the right to check your phone, although the police have the right to conduct search Yes, to stop and search and all of that. But to open your phone, there is no such law that gave them that power. So you should know your right as a citizen of this country. Yes, fundamental rights are rights that are inalienable, cannot be taken away from you. The court takes it so seriously, so you don't have to be afraid. More so, there are situations where the police will come and arrest Mr. A, and then Mr. A is not there, but the police see his brother or the sister or the wife and arrest that person in place of the other person. That is wrong. It is, in fact, it is an offense. You can sue the police for that. They cannot arrest somebody in lieu or in place of another person. It is totally and completely wrong. It is not acceptable in anywhere in Nigeria. So that is not the law. It is strange. It is strange. It's very, very, very strange. And then um, employment matters between employer and employee. Maybe the employer refused to pay. The employee cannot go and call the police for the employer to force him. No, that is purely the jurisdiction of the court. So the employee should go to the National Industrial Court called the NIC to enforce his right. If you think you have a claim, go to NIC to enforce your rights, and then the court will look at it. If you have a valid claim, of course, you will get what you are looking for. So these and many more are the things that I'll be talking about in this channel. There are different misconceptions, notions people have over tenancy matter, police-related issues, constitutional rights, these simple daily lifestyles. You have a right, you have a voice as a citizen of this country. So you are not to be, treated like a second class or third class citizen by anybody. You have a right. The court, you are maybe many people think that okay, there is no law in Nigeria, people can do anything. It is not in every case. Yes, it's because you have not, maybe you are not going to court regularly to see what is happening. You have not been to police for some time, you have not had any issue. So there is law. There is law for the citizen, for the government official, there is. So please don't be ignorant. Consult your lawyer. And then before you sign any document, ensure that you understand, you have read and understood the content of that document. If you don't know, consult a lawyer, consult me to guide you to interpret the content. Because the moment you append your signature, you append your name, you put down your name or signature in that document, it is binding on you. So ensure that you go through. You mustn't be under any duress to um, sign it, no matter how you know how urgent it is. The person say, "Oh, just sign, just sign." It is urgent. Do not succumb to that pressure. Take your time. It is your life. If it is business, it is your money. It is your time. It is your integrity. It is about you. So don't just say, let's just do it. No. Consult your lawyer and then confirm whether the transactions you are making is correct, whether you're not even signing your death warrant. So you have to take note of all of this. So I'm going to elaborate these points in my subsequent videos and so many other things to enlighten us on our rights in this country and then other international related issues and as the case may be. So thank you for your time. This is a medium video introduction showing my face. I've made other videos you can watch on how to incorporate businesses, companies, incorporated trustees, that is the NGO. I already have videos on business names, how to register. Go and check my videos in this channel, Law Laboratory. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, and share. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. I will gladly respond to it. If there is any other thing bothering you, any issue of law bothering you, put it there. I will make a video to explain. Thank you.